Good evening, my dear UPC aspirants. So, welcome you all to another new session of Sindhuja's daily news analysis. So, today we will be discussing the current affairs of 5th Jan, where the first important topic which we are going to discuss is regarding the Indo-Pacific policy. So, first, let's see what is this term Indo-Pacific. See, this term Indo-Pacific is recently framed one, right? Why this term became this much popular is because there should be an understanding about the Indian Ocean and Pacific, which are strategically linked towards each other. Why we are placing importance in this area is because majority of the world's trade passes through these oceans. Earlier, this term was used in some other way, like Asia Pacific, from which India was excluded. So, like this term was prevalent during the Cold War time, but the shift towards this term, Indo-Pacific, happened recently, which shows the importance of India also in this particular region. Indo-Pacific is interpreted by different ways, like India considers the region as an open, integrated and balanced space. India emphasizes on strategic interconnections, common challenges between Indian Ocean and Pacific. US considers this as a free and open Indo-Pacific, which highlights the importance of rules or norms of conduct in the region, thus trying to emphasize the role of China in the region. Now, the Asian countries look at Indo-Pacific as a consociational model, whereby they bring China not only for the sake giving it some stakeholdership, but looking for ways to cooperate within the region. What is this consociationalism? It is a stable democratic system in which the societies is based on power sharing between elites from different social groups. Now, what is India's perspective of Indo-Pacific region? See, India has got several partners like US, Australia, Japan and Indonesia who actually look into this Indo-Pacific as Asia Pacific plus India. So they want India's presence in the South China Sea, East China Sea basically to counter China. For India, as I told you, Indo-Pacific stands for a free, open, inclusive region. India supports rule-based, balanced and stable trade environment in the Indo-Pacific region. This is the same as what the country expects from RCEP, that is Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Unlike China, India seeks a unified ASEAN. It doesn't want a divided one. India does not comply with the US version of Indo-Pacific where there is Chinese dominance. India actually is looking for democratizing the region. So, India doesn't actually want hegemony of any player in this region. India is working in trilateral such as India, Australia, France, then India, Australia, Indonesia to ensure that China does not dominate in this particular region. Now, here we have to discuss the role of China as a challenging factor. See, China has been a threat to the Asia-Pacific countries and is posing threat to Indian interests in the Indian Ocean as well. You might be knowing Hambantota port, which is in Sri Lanka. China has a hold over it, which is just a few hundred miles off the shores of India. Then China is supplying military equipment to India's neighbors such as submarines to Myanmar, frigate to Sri Lanka, then etc. thereby colonizing the region. Then about ASEAN, some of the member countries of ASEAN are under Chinese influence and they pose a threat to erode ASEAN solidarity in terms of this Indo-Pacific. But we must know that China is ASEAN's largest trading partner and we can hardly sideline them by the entire grouping, which further threatens India's relations with the grouping. Then Southeast Asia is at the center of Indo-Pacific and ASEAN is important for India, especially for the country's Act East Asia policy. Act East policy. Okay. Then we know in several international groupings, India and China members like BRICS, SCO, etc. So China has to be seen as a more challenge to India's stand in the case of Indo-Pacific and it's a threat definitely in this particular region. Now what is the way forward in this particular thing? See, India needs to stick to its vision of the India Ocean, that is SAGAR, security and growth for all in the region. Then multilateral diplomacy, economic integration with nations is necessary to meet the challenges faced by India in this Indo-Pacific region. Then MDA or maritime domain awareness is necessary for Indo-Pacific security. Then we have to establish connectivity in the region based on respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. Then all the countries in this region should have equal access as a right under international law to the use of common spaces on the sea and in the air, which certainly would require freedom of navigation and peaceful settlement of disputes in relation with the international law. So that's all regarding this topic. Hope this session was informative for you. If the session was informative as I say, please do share, like, subscribe and hit the bell button so that you will get the notifications then and there. Thank you and wait for the next session. Bye.